You think you've seen it all until you visit a place where the walls have witnessed decades of tragedy, pain, and terror. Places where the air itself feels heavy and something unseen watches your every move. Tonight, we're counting down 10 of the most haunted places in the world. Locations so terrifying, you should never, ever visit them alone. From abandoned asylums to cursed castles, these sites aren't just legends. They're real locations where countless visitors have reported seeing, hearing, and feeling the supernatural, sometimes with horrifying consequences. Stick with me until the end, because our #1 haunted location is the kind of place that will make you question whether ghosts are just stories or something far more sinister. 10 Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadelphia, USA. Opened in 1829, Eastern State Penitentiary was designed to isolate prisoners and break their spirits. Its revolutionary architecture and solitary confinement system were intended to inspire reflection and reform, but instead it drove many to madness. The prison quickly earned a reputation for despair, violence, and suicide. Today, visitors report hearing footsteps echoing down empty corridors, whispers drifting through abandoned cells, and shadowy figures pacing in the darkness. Paranormal investigators have recorded voices pleading, "Let me out," even when no one is inside. Guests have described flashlights flickering in sync with unseen footsteps, and many claim to feel a sudden chill, as if someone is following them. Walking these hallways alone, it's hard to ignore the weight of decades of suffering, or the feeling that someone or something is watching you. 9. Poveglia Island, Italy. Between Venice and Lido lies Poveglia Island, a small landmass shrouded in fog and history. During the 18th century, it was used as a quarantine station for plague victims. Later, it became an asylum where patients endured horrific treatments and, according to some rumors, cruel experiments. Estimates suggest more than 160,000 souls died on this island. Visitors report hearing screaming and chanting from empty, crumbling buildings, seeing shadowy figures disappear in the mist, and feeling sudden, overwhelming dread. Urban explorers speak of mass graves partially exposed under overgrown vegetation, and of hearing voices warning them to leave. The air itself seems heavy, saturated with decades of pain and suffering. Poveglia Island has earned the reputation as one of the most haunted places on Earth. Step foot here alone, and you might never feel completely safe again. 8. The Stanley Hotel, Estes Park, Colorado, USA. Famous as the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining, the Stanley Hotel opened in 1909 and has been a magnet for paranormal activity ever since. Guests frequently report cold spots, mysterious piano music echoing through empty ballrooms, and shadowy figures in dimly lit hallways. Room 217 is notorious. Guests describe being woken by whispers or the sound of doors slamming for no reason. Staff members have even reported seeing a ghostly maid in period costume gliding silently through the corridors. Walking these halls, it's hard to separate imagination from reality, but the countless reports suggest something more than imagination is at work. And staying alone in this historic hotel at night can be a test of your courage or your sanity. 7. Aokigahara Forest, Japan. At the base of Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara Forest, often called the Suicide Forest. Its dense, eerily silent woods are infamous for the hundreds of people who have ended their lives there over the years. Birdsong is almost absent. The stillness is oppressive. Hikers report feelings of sudden despair, nausea, and being watched. Shadowy figures appear between the trees, only to vanish when approached. Some GPS devices fail or behave strangely here, as if the forest itself wants to keep you disoriented. Walking alone in Aokigahara, you don't just feel the weight of human tragedy. You feel the forest itself, an almost sentient presence pressing in from all sides. 6. The Myrtles Plantation, Louisiana, USA. Built in 1796, the Myrtles Plantation is said to be haunted by at least 10 spirits, including a woman in a green turban who roams the hallways. Legend tells of murders and betrayals that left the property steeped in sorrow. Guests have captured ghostly faces in mirrors and windows. Staff report whispers, footsteps, and objects moving on their own. Many claim to feel sudden cold drafts, as if unseen hands are brushing past. When a home holds centuries of tragedy, even the walls seem to whisper. Spending a night here alone is not for the faint of heart. 5. Edinburgh Castle, Scotland. Perched atop a volcanic rock overlooking the city, Edinburgh Castle has seen centuries of war, imprisonment, and executions. Visitors report seeing shadow figures flit across the walls, hearing footsteps echoing in empty corridors, and smelling gunpowder in the dungeons. Tour guides recount hearing disembodied Gaelic voices warning visitors to leave. Tourists have captured ghostly figures in photographs of the castle's dark halls. Walking these stone corridors, it's easy to imagine the spirits of soldiers and prisoners still lingering, never able to leave their place of torment. 4. Paris Catacombs, France. Beneath the streets of Paris stretch miles of tunnels containing the bones of millions. Originally created to ease overcrowded cemeteries, the catacombs have become a magnet for urban explorers and ghosts. Visitors report whispers echoing through tunnels, shadowy figures in their peripheral vision, and an overwhelming sense of dread. Many have gotten lost in the labyrinthine passages, hearing footsteps following them, or feeling hands brush against them when no one is nearby. Walking here alone is a terrifying proposition. Surrounded by the remains of millions, you cannot shake the feeling that something unseen is moving among them. 3. The Queen Mary, Long Beach, California, USA. This retired ocean liner, permanently docked, is considered one of the most haunted ships in the world. Crew and visitors report phantom footsteps echoing along empty decks, cold drafts in staterooms, and ghostly apparitions appearing in photographs. One of the most famous spirits is a young girl in a white dress, seen wandering the decks at night. Guests have reported hearing laughter, seeing shadow figures, and experiencing objects moving on their own. The Queen Mary isn't just a ship, it's a floating memorial to lives lost and spirits left behind. 2. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, West Virginia, USA. Opened in 1864, this massive asylum was home to thousands of patients, many of whom suffered horrific mistreatment. Overcrowding and neglect led to countless deaths. Visitors report shadowy figures in tattered clothing, wandering hallways, doors opening and closing on their own, and disembodied screams echoing through empty rooms. Paranormal investigators have captured strange EVP recordings and dramatic temperature drops. Walking these halls alone, it's impossible not to feel the weight of suffering that still lingers here. The asylum is a stark reminder that some tragedies never truly end. 1. Hoia Baciu Forest, Romania. Known as the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania, Hoia Baciu Forest is famous for its bizarre and terrifying paranormal activity. Trees grow in unnatural circular formations, GPS devices fail, and many visitors experience sudden panic, disorientation, or hallucinations. Some report seeing apparitions, ghostly lights, or even strange creatures lurking among the fog. It's one of the few places where people willingly report that they felt physical effects from the supernatural. Nausea, vertigo, and an overwhelming sense of being watched. Walking alone here is not recommended. Hoia Baciu Forest is a place where reality itself seems to bend, and the line between the living and the dead is frighteningly thin. These 10 locations aren't just haunted for effect, they carry the weight of history, tragedy, and unexplained phenomena. From prisons to forests, ships to catacombs, these are places where the past refuses to stay buried. So if you ever find yourself standing in an empty corridor, a foggy forest, or an abandoned ship late at night, remember, some places are haunted not by stories, but by the spirits that never left. Which of these haunted places would you never visit alone? Let us know in the comments, if you dare.